Thank you so much. Imagine for a moment growing up in a dense neighborhood of 3,000 square foot lots. Smokestacks tower overhead, there's little open space, and those with the least means live closest to the factories. That same child explores further from home, climbs down a hill, and unexpectedly finds a river practically in his backyard. Unfortunately, the river is unwelcoming. It's polluted with dyes, and a fence prevents his access. One of our early board members, Brian, was that kid that wandered up and over a hill and found a river to revive. That is the heart of our mission. People are a critical part of the equation in our urban conservation work. The Lowell Parks and Conservation Trust was founded in 1990 by residents that want to protect the city's natural resources. Our work is just as important as it was in 1990, as only 5% of the city has been set aside as open space. Lowell is located at the confluence of the Concord and Merrimack rivers. And that same river power that attracted the Pawtucket and Pennacook people also attracted factories. And Lowell became the first planned industrial city in the country. Lowell has a population of 120,000 people speaking 70 languages. It is an environmental justice community with a low-income population, many of whom are immigrants. Unfortunately, Lowell has a history of barricading its residents from nature. Our rivers and special places can literally be locked behind gates. Children are too attached to their screens, and that lack of outside time has been coined nature deficit disorder. That, combined with minimal open space, results in poor health outcomes. The Lowell Parks and Conservation Trust is changing that narrative. Our solution includes 4 approaches: protecting places, conserving nature, activating stewards, and connecting people. On the following slides, I'd like to walk you through those 4 approaches. The Lowell Parks and Conservation Trust is actually one of the few urban land trusts in the entire country. We've protected 30 acres, but our 1 acre is worth 1,000 to an organization like the Nature Conservancy. Some of the places that we protected include the Concord River Greenway, a multi-use accessible trail, Jolene Dubner Park, which provided the first public access to the Concord River, the historic Spalding House, and Hawk Valley Farm. We are poised to protect another 20 acres later this year, which happens to be the last family farm in Lowell, and will provide a vital connection between the state forest and the Merrimack River. Lowell is an urban wildlife refuge partnership city, one of only 29 in the whole country. Our work engages residents in a variety of community science initiatives, including the Dragonfly Mercury Project, protecting threatened turtles, and fish monitoring on the Concord River. We want to activate the next generation of stewards that'll care for our city's resources and ensure that Lowell is a more vibrant, healthy place to live. For example, in 2022, over 1,000 youth participated in our after-school programs at 10 local schools. We were so proud when the Environmental Youth Task Force was invited to spend a week at the Smithsonian at their National Folklife Festival to share their work in climate change. And finally, we make room for people to reconnect with each other and nature. Connecting people and places is an important part of our work, but really, some of the work that we've also done, some of the more impactful work has been in closing our 200-mile regional trail network. We've actually started closing some of the last remaining gaps. These 4 approaches come together to create community through conservation. Connecting people and places is core to our organization, and there are several stories that highlight the importance of our work. I'd like to tell you about Lily and Amina. Lily and Amina came to us as incoming freshmen in our after-school program. Lily and Amina were good students. They had an early sense of justice, but struggles at home held them back. Amina was worried about her family's desire to go back to Africa, and Lily was needed to help care for her younger siblings. They learned about rain gardens and how they help reduce storm flow. They looked at the alley next to their school and realized it needed some extra help, so they reached out to our then Congresswoman Nikki Tsongas to share their ideas for our rain garden project. They were brazen enough to ask for funding on the spot. Because they had the knowledge and skills through our after-school program, their project was funded, and these 2 young women are still active in community conservation as they pursue their college degrees. I'd also like to tell you about Antonio. Born and raised in Lowell, Tony took the long road through college, working a full-time job. He was looking for a place to de-stress and joined us in our cleanups and our volunteer work as a fish monitor. And he eventually joined our staff as our community conservation coordinator, and he also helps lead the Environmental Youth Task Force. We are fortunate to have Tony with us tonight, and I'd like to ask him to stand up. Thank you so much, Tony. We would not have the incredible impact that you've just seen without our funders' strong partnerships, amazing staff, amazing board, and we're fortunate tonight to have the Devonshire Foundation as our track partner. This is conservation work that matters. We're looking for an investment. We need your support to help us grow our organization. We'd like to ask for your support to help us grow our staff, to renew our accreditation, to update our strategic plan, to help us acquire Pawtucket Farm Wildlife Sanctuary and build an education center there for the next generation. We're asking for an investment of $1.7 million over 2 years, and we know that you can help us get there. Together, our community members know that no matter how you got here, how old you are, where you come from, what you look like, or what problems you are facing, nature is for everyone. Thank you.